Hello, this is Collector Sounds, here for another video about collecting vintage toys. Well, rather a show and tell of those vintage toys. Today I'm going to show you a good portion of my Little Pony G1, that is the line that came out in the 1980s originally. I'm going to show you, we'll see how many I have time for. I'll kind of talk a bit about why I acquired them and what I like about them, and maybe even some facts. I try to provide as many facts as I can because I think it's nice when a person is talking about something and they're actually giving you information. Okay, let's start. Here we have Sweetberry, and she is known for her very bright red hair that matches perfectly her strawberry print, and you'll notice that it is much bigger than the standard cutie mark that goes on the rump. And that's because she's from the Twice as Fancy line. Collectors on message boards will usually abbreviate it as TAF. And there were other ponies that kind of had this extra design put on them where the cutie mark kind of expands over the whole body. And of course she also has this little strawberry on her nose. I mean, this is a feature that they used a lot in the G3 line, where they would put a design on the forehead of the pony. Now, I do not recall the year that this Sugarberry came out. I did purchase her from a collector. She's not in amazing condition. Her hair is pretty dry, but she's good enough for me. I'm not super picky. I do, as long as the hair is uncut and the design is mostly present and not rubbed off, I'll usually accept that as a reasonable pony. Sugarberry, we'll put her off to the side here. Now, Sugarberry is a pony I purchased from a fellow collector, but this is one I found in the wild, as they say, and collectors say that for when you find a pony at a thrift store. And I have to confess that that's kind of how I got into collecting ponies. I wasn't really into acquiring them, but then I was thrifting more and more, and I would find them, such as this edition of Masquerade, who is from the Twinkle Eye line. You can tell Twinkle Eyes had these gem-like plastic kind of stones instead of the standard painted eye. Some people aren't a big fan of that, but I had a Twinkle Eye pony as a child, so I think that's why I like them. And her cutie mark is these Masquerade masks. She's a Pegasus with the wings, with this lovely kind of dark forest verging on teal green. Come to think of it, this tail might have had a cut, but there's no tail rest, so that's acceptable as far as condition goes. Okay, so this is Masquerade, a pretty good condition thrift store pony. Now, I think was pretty dirty when I found her. Not super dirty, but nothing a magic eraser couldn't take care of. Another thrift store pony is this is Dancing Butterflies. Named for her cutie mark, and like Sugarberry, she is also a twice as fancy pony, but a Pegasus and in a different pose, kind of this bent over pose, which I'm going to be honest is not my favorite. But a thrift store pony is basically a free pony, so it's okay that she has a little ink mark there, and that there's, well, she also has highlighter on her hooves. Someone decorated her a little bit, so she's not in perfect condition, but I think she displays well. And that's something collectors will also say, you know, if you can put her on a shelf and she'll look decent, then that's good enough. Definitely not custom made. Here's a pony I picked up from another collector. This is Tootsie, one of the year 2, that would be 1984 Earth ponies. She stands on the ground. She's got these Tootsie roll cutie marks, and she's kind of this shade of green, which I'm partial to it. And then a lovely blue mane. And I just think it's a very sweet pose, a very simple design, and that's why I wanted to add her to my collection. Now I'll show you these next two as a duo. I'm hoping that I'll complete this set at some point. These are the Sunday Best ponies, and they're known for their 3D embossed cutie marks that are of ice cream, as well as their kind of pastel shades, although other ones in the line are not quite as pastel as these. And of course their pastel style is what drew me to them in the first place. So here is Banana Surprise on the left and Peppermint Crunch on the right. And these both came out in 1987, and these were purchased from collectors, so they're in pretty good condition. Something when you're looking at the Sunday Best ponies, because their symbols stick up like this, the paint can rub off pretty easily, so if you're a picky collector, you're going to want to look at the symbols and see how deteriorated they are. Now I just realized something. Throughout this video I've been using the term cutie mark as well as symbol, probably more cutie mark than symbol. And that, my friends, is a point of contention in the pony community. The term cutie mark really emerged with the advent of the G4 ponies in 2010. So a lot of old school collectors just refuse to use it. Instead they'll use symbol, which frankly I think makes more sense. Cutie mark is okay, but symbol is more classical. Anyway, my point is, if there are any collectors watching this video, please don't be offended if I use the wrong term. Let's go back to my thrift find ponies. here is Posey, and she's a lovely yellow with these pink flowers. And Posey is known for having pink hair that gets quite faded. Now, if you see a Posey mint on card, you'll see that her hair is quite pink. My Posey's hair is still pink, but it's not extremely pink. That said, it's also not white, which some Posies do get faded to the point that they're just white. Some collectors will re-pink white hair to get it back, to restore it to its original condition. I don't think I need to do that with this girl, but she's very, very nice when she had a little bath. She's a little dirty, especially being a light in color. Another pony I picked up from a collector is this Moonstone. I like anything with a space or star themed, so even though this glitter symbol is a little bit degraded, I didn't mind. And I picked her up with her kind of deep fuchsia hair, purple stripe, unicorn. She's a pretty good one. This one is one of the greatest thrift scores I've ever had. I'm not gonna mince words on that. She is a sweetheart sister named Dancing Daisy. You know, she's kind of got a skinnier body. She's meant to be like, I guess, a teenage pony as opposed to an adult pony. And I had seen an image of her on the internet, or on eBay actually, and I thought, oh, I love everything about that pony. I love her color scheme. I love the kind of pale aqua. I love the purple. I love the pink. Although the one that I saw actually was missing the earring, so anyway, I love this pony at first sight. And then I was thrifting one day, and who did I find but Dancing Daisy? It was an amazing moment, if I don't say so myself. And her curls, I believe, are factory. You know, they're still in there from when they were first made in the factory, so they're looking really good. So this is definitely one of my favorites. But it is not my very favorite. Okay, well, maybe it's kind of my favorite. You know what? I can't choose. I will say that this pony is probably my favorite. Her name is Fizzy. She is a twinkle-eyed pony. She's a unicorn. She is this beautiful teal color. She has these fizzy ice cream drinks as a symbol. She has 3 beautiful colors in her mane. And I just think everything about her is perfect. What could I say? She's fizzy, and she's the best. So I think this is a good place to close the video. Hope you enjoyed checking out parts of my collection, some of my favorite ponies, G1 ponies. Subscribe if you like what you see. I have lots more to show you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.